Welcome back to All the Cars I've Loved Before, your authoritative podcast on automotive nostalgia, where our guests are unique. Each auto has an era. Every car tells a story. So you know it's time to plug in, get a little grease under the nails, and slip on that favorite car-themed t-shirt. Now, before I cue in my partner in crime here, let's welcome back to Cars Love Nation, our most recent listeners in cities and countries around the world. All right, so Doug, you're going to like this. I'm going to throw out, I pulled this out of the analytics, okay, and you're going to dig it. So what do these cities have in common, right? This is a little bit of a test here.
Uh-oh.
Brooklyn, New York, welcome back. We know you're listening. Bremerton, Washington, welcome back. We know you're out there. Birmingham, Alabama, not too far from me. Welcome. Bridgeport, Connecticut. Bradford, Maine, all the way in the Northeast. What do all of those cities have in common? Any clue?
Two things. They all start with B, and
Yes.
they all start with BR, I think.
Oh, I didn't even get close. Birmingham, yeah.
Yes, I got
B
Birmingham.
makes the bus sound. Yeah, you're right. That's right. Now, countries all over the world, we see a theme here. Welcome back to our listeners. You know what? And maybe even viewers as we ramp up the YouTube presence. We're having fun with that. Maybe Doug can speak a little bit about that in a minute. But hey, welcome back, Sweden. They used to make Saabs there. I was going through a magazine and saw an old Saab ad. It was fantastic. Saab anyway. Okay. Sweden, Germany, Norway, Canada, our neighbors, and Italy. So welcome back. Hey, it's great to have all of you back. And let's bring in my co-host with the almost. He's got all the options. He fires on most cylinders some of the time. Our man with the plan, Doug. What's happening, buddy?
I think I'm firing on 5 of 6 today, so that's pretty good.
Yes, as long as one of them is firing. The older I get, I'll take what I can. All right, so you always have, do you have an exclusively automotive wardrobe? Is everything car-based?
It's becoming that.
Socks?
It's becoming
shoes?
that. No.
I know hats, I know shirts.
Yeah, just shirts.
Yeah.
Just shirts right now.
All right.
But you're giving me ideas. I'll talk to my wardrobe person.
Yeah, talk to your fashion consultant.
Yes.
So what's the shirt today?
The shirt today is dun dun dun. No surprise. DeLorean shirt, one of many.
And you'll when we introduce today's extremely fun guest, you'll see why. And I'm excited for this one. But before
what do you notice about this DeLorean shirt?
Hang on, let's get rid of this thing. See, I always like these shirts. It's got kind of a blueprint. It looks it looks like the car is hollow blueprint. I'm going to guess that's maybe either the patent or some sort of legal documentation for the car.
I believe it's on the patent. Yep.
That's pretty slick.
I think I found it on Amazon. Yep. It's a awesome shirt.
That's a great one. So it's always 3 questions I got for you. We're down with 1. So let's catch up the honor. So what's the newest thing happening in your garage, if anything? Have you had any time this week or?
No, I think the last thing I told you was I replaced the starter in my 1990 Nissan 300ZX, and I was kicking myself because why wouldn't it start with the new starter? Did a little troubleshooting, found out, coincidence or not, the starter relay died for whatever reason.
Yep.
It had worked before. Their starter just had a lot of trouble engaging. So, so I got to get another starter relay. Fortunately, I got a buddy on the Eastern Shore of Maryland who has a literally
phone a friend
Z parts for my model. So
make sure you can always type it into Chilton GPT also. Okay, last question.
Yes.
Now I'm going to ask this, but I don't think we're ready for it. What is new with the show? We've been recording a lot recently. We've got a lot of episodes in the can. We're going to release them here. So I know there's some behind the scenes technical things that I'm way too unintelligent to understand. We don't have to get into them now. But hey, we have some stuff up on YouTube. Check out our YouTube. Doug continues to throw things out on all of our social media vectors. So maybe we should just keep some of the show stuff under our hat for now. Is that fair?
I think that's fair.
We can't tell any secrets. Are we going to declassify any of it soon? Are we going to declassify it?
Well, depending on when people are listening to this, I just put out a little clip from one of our many podcast recordings where we talk about the genesis of the show, not to be confused with the Genesis car, which is a very nice vehicle.
Fantastic automobile. Thank you for the update. Moving on.
Yes.
So, Cars Love Nation, if you like what you hear, tell a family member, a coworker, a friend, heck, even tell an enemy. Because you know what we do? This show brings people together. It's all about fun all over the world. Yep, so we're going to get into it right now. Okay, carslove.com. We continue to beef up, and by we, I mean the smarter half of us, Doug, continues to beef up the online presence. Do you want to give the link tree? Because I just can't spell it.
Sure. It's linktr.ee/carsloved.
You know, I'm going to brush up on my ABCs one day, and I'll get there. Just got to be patient. But the big one here is these days, reviews. Leave a review anywhere you can on our site. You can mail it through the United States Postal Service. You can send a carrier pigeon. However it gets here is fine. But do you have one handy you can read for the audience?
Absolutely. So this one just came in on Tuesday. It takes a couple days for Apple Podcasts to validate, make sure it wasn't, made by a bot, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So the Terminator.
Yeah.
He can't leave a review?
No. So this is from Bob Unbound. And it says, for everybody who has ever owned a car, reflecting on cars we have owned, the good, the bad, the transmissions. You wouldn't think that this is entertaining, but it really is. And I didn't think I was a car guy.
That might be the best review ever. I think that's a haiku or a sonnet. I think you wrote that in iambic pentameter. That's beautiful. Do we know who that is? I think I know who that is. Do you have any idea?
I might.
Okay. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you for that review, Bob.
Yeah,
much appreciated. So, and if you find yourself near any water cooler, whatever, you go to the tire place, you're having oil, cars and just please mention us, spread the word. All right. Today's theme, by way of a prologue, you had a good one. Do you have that one? Let's throw that one out here, and then we're going to introduce today's guest. What's the theme?
So the theme is what do you do when your friends or family or just outsiders start noticing your love for cars and love for nostalgia? And what would they notice? Would it be a bunch of oil stains in the driveway? Would it be you're building a bigger garage?
Interesting.
Would it be you're buying cars from a certain era?
Yeah. So kind of what do you project? How might other people see you? How might other people
How would your neighbors? Your neighbors are like,
I like that.
All of a sudden he came into $1 zillion.
Well, I think it's about that time. So excited for today's guest. So Doug.
Ditto.
How did today's guest make it into our virtual garage?
Yeah. So Curt, who was wonderful to be on the podcast, I found Curt, like I find lots of people, Facebook. So Curt posted a picture of not only one awesome car, but two awesome cars from the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm going to let him talk about them because those are one is his dream car and one is his take me back to the 1984, 85. And we'll let Curt talk about them. But yeah, just seeing those two cars with so many similarities next to each other just got my attention. Not to mention the fact that when I was growing up, we owned one of those cars, or actually two.
Oh, yeah. Well, welcome, Curt. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Man, so you and Doug really do have a cosmic connection, don't you? Actually, several. And the moment Doug said that, maybe if it's okay with you, maybe we can post the picture of those two cars. But the way Doug said it made me think of that picture. The two cars as bookends, maybe bookends to your life. Think about it. Kind of one takes you way back, and one kind of is your dream for a long time, but you only got it recently. So tell us a little bit about those two cars, man.
Yeah, so the first car is it's a 1984 Chrysler Laser, and that was the car that I had as a teenager. I had, when I was 17 years old, I got my first, Chrysler Laser, and I had it for many years, did a lot of work on it. I pretty much everything in that car I worked on and I replaced over the years. Through it, went through college, ended up getting a second one, which was the high end model of the XE model, which is the turbocharged digital dash, all that stuff in college.
Dash.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I had that in college, and then while you're in college, the thing about those cars is they take a lot to keep them running. Like many '80s cars, domestic cars, and I just didn't have the resource or the time to fix it, and so I ended up getting rid of it. And that's why I was so excited to be able to get another one that was very similar to the one I owned in college. And that's what I have now.
Fantastic. And before Doug really gets us in depth to the interview here and walks you through your past, can you talk a little bit about, and hopefully we can get this video online. There are several model, the RC airplanes behind you. They're just very striking looking.
Oh yeah. So that's ever since I was about the same age, teenager, I flew RC aircraft, and that was much less sophisticated back in the '80s, but yes. So I've that's one of my other hobbies is, if you see there hanging on the ceiling, that's a P-51 Mustang, and that's
love it.
That's an iconic one, and it's very fun to fly. That's just a standard like high wing Cessna thing.
Yeah.
And behind me, let's see. So this is a cool thing. It's
that's a Thunderbird.
That's an F-16 Thunderbird. Yes, and it's the modern jets are very sophisticated now. And sorry for zooming around. One more on the wall is another '80s icon, which is that's an F-14 Tomcat, and
I see Tom Cruise in the canopy. I see it from here.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So,
yes, he's almost inverted.
Those are,
he's inverted.
I tend to make, collect the RC aircraft that made an impression on me as I was younger, and definitely that was, going to air shows. I used to go to them all the time in the '90s, and even out here we have a really good air show, and the F-14 was always the most impressive thing to see. So.
I don't know, Doug, if you can see it. He's also got this kind of vertical neon-looking sign that says arcade on it. So I gotta say, you're in the running for probably the top 3 or 4. Oh, guys, he's got a Pac-Man machine in the back.
Oh yeah, see, I have a little arcade there. Yeah, so.
I'm gonna show off too.
Oh, there you got it. Okay, there you go.
We are kindred spirits, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys have a cosmic connection all the way around for sure.
That was an evidence of me having too much time on my hand at COVID. So that's what happened. That's when it came. So.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. And before we go back in time, let's do this. We've never done this before.
What?
We're going to step back into time. We're going to go 88 miles an hour and just burst into flame here. And as we go back to when you had your first car, and Doug will walk you through this. All I want to mention is we all have a soundtrack to our lives of when we grew up. These songs that were really important to were finding ourselves, to find us, to find our friends. Maybe we were cool enough to go see one of these acts in concert. Of course, I was never cool, but one of my favorite bands of all time was my favorite band, Cheap Trick. And for you, can you talk about the bands that meant a lot to you and that song that you mentioned that kicks it all off?
Oh yeah. So when I think back to that time, I mean, one of the main, I guess it would be defining songs would be it was Van Halen "Dreams" from the 5150 album, and that's when I think of being in my car. That's what cassette I had in there, and I'd play it. Yes.
Cassette. Most fantastic. And then during the pre-show, we were rattling off. Curt was talking about Doc, and oh my gosh, hadn't thought about that in so long. Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, and before we slide back to the automotive side of it, during the pre-show, I was looking at the album Van Halen 5115 is an album, and you look at the tracks on that album. Why can't this? I won't sing it, although I really, really want to. Doug will strangle me through the ether. Why can't this be love? Dreams, Best of Both Worlds, Love Walks In. Okay, 4 smash, brilliant Mozart level songs on top of 5150, Good Enough, Get Up, Summer Nights, and Inside. What an album! What a cassette! I mean, could you drive around town and get up listening to it. You just never come down listening to that.
And
Holy
that's
smokes.
when I'm in my cars now, if I'm in either one of those, I usually will stream the whole album versus individual songs for that reason, because that's how you listen to them with a cassette, right? You didn't have the option to move around. You just listen to it. So
lovely. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Columbia House, and this is a little before our time. I was reading some vintage magazine, and Columbia House said, yes, we have this new offering or option for people out there. Columbia House, you can choose your music on cassette, 8-track, reel-to-reel, or what was it? Or vinyl LP. And I just started laughing out loud. Man, talk about, we think we have options now. Boy, those were options back in the 70s.
No kidding.
But
digital is boring.
Absolutely. What story does it tell? All right, Doug, take it away. Let's talk about his cars.
Yeah. So we already talked about he did the introduction, but his first car was a 1984 Chrysler Laser Silver 5-speed. My first car was a 1989 Dodge Daytona Silver base model automatic. And boy, I thought that was such a cool car. Flip-up headlights. I know the Laser didn't initially have it, but sometimes I just go back and I watch those commercials, and you see Chrysler Laser.
Yes.
And they're just the digital dash, right? This was during the Knight Rider era, right? It was so well timed.
Futuristic, yeah.
Yeah. And really those cars, and we'll let the owner of the car tell us more, but those cars were really economy cars. They were built on the Chrysler K-Car platform, which was like every car Chrysler built, but they built everything on that platform. And that was the platform that saved Chrysler when Lee Iacocca came on board.
Hi, this is Christian with To All the Cars I've Loved Before, your authoritative podcast on automotive nostalgia. Hey, have you ever thought to yourself, I love this show so much, I wish it would come out weekly instead of bi-weekly? Well, guess what? You asked, we answered. Henceforth, that means from now on, you're going to get a piping hot new episode of To All the Cars I've Loved Before, weekly instead of bi-weekly. How do you like that? We will see you on your mobile telephone streaming device of choice weekly from now on.
Yeah, and you mentioned about Knight Rider, and I was a young teenager when Knight Rider was on, and that just left such an impression on me, because I always migrated towards tech and technology. Mm-hmm. I'm an engineer now, and I mean it's what I like. So, that, and then to see that car, actually, I went with my father and grandfather to the Chrysler dealer. I think it was 1985, and he was picking out a Chrysler Fifth Avenue, because that's what you do, as an old man. And so my grandfather was buying a Chrysler Fifth Avenue, but while they were over there talking to the dealer, I migrated over, and they had a brand new black Laser XE with that digital dash, and they had it all set up. It was, lit up inside. I was blown away. I mean, I thought, I can't believe that this is Knight Rider. I want it, and that's what really got me on the path of that. And then if anyone remembers the movie The Wraith in 1987, maybe, or 86, it came
Charlie
out.
Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. Yep. Well, Chrysler definitely did product placement there, and they had a Chrysler Laser with the digital dash in one of the scenes, and they also had some Daytona that was 87 and up.
Yep.
And that was right as I was starting to look for a car, and that cemented the deal. It was like, okay, I got to have it. So
good. Not the best movie, but great.
No, it was a B movie, but if you look on the Dodge forum, the Turbo Dodge forums, it's their anthem. Yes.
No, I agreed. And brilliant taking that show car, right? The Interceptor, right?
Yep.
I think it was called the
that was that Dodge Interceptor. Yes.
Yep. And making it part of the movie. Yeah. And people actually people recreate that car. I've seen it recreated on a Porsche Boxster, even chassis. So, and just the digital. And did your car talk, or does your new car talk?
It does. Yeah. Nice. So the first car I had was analog gauge, a base model.
Mine too.
The second one I had, which was in college, was identical to the one I saw in that dealership. It was black with a red stripe. It had the digital dash. It talked to you. Black leather seats. The one I have now is actually a very 80s brown. It's a saddle brown color, which they only made in 1984. And but it has the full digital dash. It talks to you when you open the door. So it's.
Did you? Sorry to interrupt you. Did you have to fix any of those things? And I ask because I've seen on the Chrysler Laser forum, which is probably where I saw you. I've seen people who repair the digital dashes.
Yeah, which is me actually. So
you're the guy.
Yeah. So I'm one of the
if
ones.
If anybody needs a digital dash, who should they go out to?
Is there anything you don't do? My goodness.
Well, I'm a lifelong engineer. That's my passion. It's my job, and it's what I enjoy to do. So I've one of the things is getting this car, because I actually remember when I was when I was in college. And the car was only 5 years old. Well, that stuff stopped working. That 80s electronics just didn't last in an auto car. And I remember pulling my dash out, trying to figure it out. And I wasn't trained. I didn't know what I was doing, but I, got it enough to where I could get a soldering iron and get it back operational. So when I got this one, the dash itself worked, but there were multiple things that, the bulbs were not working. Some of the circuits weren't working. There's a trip navigator, which was actually a very forward thinking for 1984. It was basically a trip computer where it would tell you how many miles, what miles per gallon you're getting, all that stuff.
Distance.
After about 2 years, the button stopped working, and then the display would stop working. So pretty much everyone you buy, those don't work. So I've replaced many of those, and especially now that on those sites, people know that I do it. So I've probably replaced, I don't know, 25, 30 of those things that just basically you unsolder all the switches, you put new ones in. It's relatively simple if you know what if you know your way around electronics. So.
Yep. No,
hey, can I hop in here real quick? Now,
please.
for the digital dash and just that wow factor, did you have to get that XE Turbo?
Yes, it was only in the XE full model. Yes.
Wow, man, that's so there was nothing like that in the base model.
Right. It was all analog gauge in the base model.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
More reliable,
well, there you go.
But not as cool.
Back to you, Doug. Okay.
And it's funny you mentioned you said soldering iron. My dad was an electrical engineer, so I had a soldering iron at age 7. So it's been
what could go wrong?
It's been fun. I'm not great at it, but given we talked about your first 2 cars already, so I do want to talk about what was the car that you hated the most before we get to your dream car, which is also your favorite car, which you also own.
Yeah, and geez, I'm wondering. I don't know if I answered that for you
You
in
did.
before.
You did. I can remind you. It starts.
Yeah, remind me because I'm trying to. I'd have to remember which. Oh, I know what it
He
was.
hates so
I know
many.
which
He
one now.
seems so full of hate.
It was a PT Cruiser.
Yes. Also another Chrysler product.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I owned a 2001 PT Cruiser,
Mm-hmm.
and those were one of those love-hate things, right? You either thought it was kind of cool because it was that throwback. It was one of the early throwback stuff. Or
Yes,
you really, really hated it. It's kind of like a Cybertruck today, right? It just instills hate. So the only reason I have it is because I had a 2-year-old son that absolutely loved them. Anytime he would see him, he loved them, right? He would point them out. It was one of the first things he would say, right?
But they call it terrible twos for a reason. You know that.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, dude, that was great.
So I blame it on him for owning that. And it was not. It would be my least favorite car, yes, and the most troublesome.
You mentioned something really interesting though. It was one of the first throwbacks, wasn't it? So 2001. Was. Think about everything that came after that. Ford with the Thunderbird,
and the Mustang,
and not the Mustang. The next to kind of harken back, and all those throwbacks were kind of home runs. But the PT Cruiser I thought was really interesting because it was so different. But you really go into, and I like the way you put it was unique in a love-hate kind of way. That's perfect. Like the way you put it. You said it was overweight, underpowered, and mechanically unreliable. Now, was 2001 the first year they came out? Were you an early adopter?
It was, yeah. That was I think 2001 was the first year, and I don't know how long they ran them. Maybe 2006 or 7. I don't remember. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. And
but I don't think later models got any better. But there may be people that don't agree with me.
Well, my neighbor owns and he was on the show, David. He owns a PT Cruiser convertible, which I've been for a ride in. It's nice, but it's a convertible. You can't go wrong with a convertible on a nice day.
Yeah.
And he likes to joke that his wife got it for their 20th anniversary, but also he wonders if she looked at the safety rating before she gave it to him.
I remember renting one. Yeah. I was on a vacation actually, and my wife and I rented one. This is, I think, because we had the regular one and we rented it. It was a convertible because we wanted a convertible.
Exactly.
But I remember driving in it, and it felt even heavier than ours because they have to make them heavier to stiffen them up.
Correct.
But I just remember the windshield, the windshield, which doesn't have any structural support, it would shake side to side, and I'm like, man, this doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
And it was a brand new. It was a rental,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, that'll teach you.
That's the way they built it. Thanks for sharing that, and you really pacified your 2-year-old with that.
Oh yeah, he loved them. He actually, I mean that's why he would point them out. Yeah. That was one of the first things he would point. And he would say,
Does he still like them, Curt?
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't even remember that we had him now. So.
Yeah, maybe that'll be his dream
He's
car.
Graduating from college now, so he's much older now. So.
Yeah, maybe that'll be his dream car. Speaking of which, so you got your Chrysler Laser Turbo in 2022, COVID times. I got my dream car, so to speak, in 2022, or one of them. But in 2024, you bought your dream car. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so it's a 1981 DeLorean, and it's been a blast to have it. I didn't even know DeLoreans existed as a kid until the movie came out, Back to the Future in 1985.
Those people, yeah.
And you just assumed it was a prop, right, in the movie, but then you learn after the fact. And I grew up in Western Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh area. You would have never seen a real DeLorean in Pittsburgh. It's just not a place you would have it. When they were new. But then I learned that's a real car, and then you learn about it, and then it kind of falls out of your mind because life happens. You have kids, all this stuff, and then that's once I kind of got back into cars with the with the Laser, then I started saying, well, you know what, I'd really like to have that dream car, and that's where I started looking. Shortly after getting my car, I started looking and just kind of lucked into one that was very close by me and very good shape. And so yeah, I've had that for over a year now, and it's a lot of fun. It's fun to drive. It's it's not a speedster. It's not a race car. That it wasn't known for that, but it's very fun to drive. It's comfortable, and it just the reaction it gets out of other people.
Yeah.
It just
the smiles.
Yeah, everyone else that sees it just lightens up their day, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
I feel the same way.
It's a very uplifting car that everyone loves to see, and it's not because I like to show off or anything. It's just it brings people joy to see it.
It does. It truly does, and that's, I don't know about you, but just the DeLorean community of people that I've met, whether local, or just how I met you, right? I saw both of your cars. Now we can say what the second one was. It was probably on a DeLorean Facebook group, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the Chrysler group probably too.
Yeah.
And and DeLorean people are just awesome, and some of them are super particular.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them love it. And I don't know if you knew this. We had KITT DeLorean on our podcast on the 10th episode.
Oh wow, yeah.
So
I've seen her on various interviews. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. She's awesome. That was such a treat because we won't get to meet John because he's been gone for a while. But the next best thing, his daughter. So
yeah, there's a large community. I'm from Southern California, San Diego area, and there's quite a few DeLorean owners here, and there's a club, and we meet every few months at a restaurant, and there's different members that come, and it's nice to see the variation. I mean, all DeLoreans were built the same. There's very slight differences over the 3 years that they built them, but it's interesting to see now that how they vary. Some of them have engine swaps, some of them have different options and things like that. The one I have is all stock. So I was lucky to find it off the original owner that bought it in 1981.
That's a great story too.
Right. And
we'll save that for another episode.
But. Yeah. But you see a lot of variation. But yeah, the car group people in general are usually very happy to talk about their cars.
And they're happy to help others. And all that great stuff. Yeah. Well, next time I'm out your way, I might look you up and maybe get
definitely
Chrysler. So here's a trick question. I think I know the answer. Maybe it's not a trick question. In a race between your DeLorean and the Chrysler Laser, Christian, which one will win?
Laser.
Okay. I vote Laser also.
Yeah.
Curt?
Yeah, I would say the DeLorean would win. Because if you look at the horsepower ratings of the two, they're very, very similar.
Yeah.
But the difference is you have to be full boost in that Laser to be operating.
True.
The DeLorean has it's a boring 135 horsepower. But the torque's there all the time. It's a V6, that kind of thing. So
true.
And the other thing, and I've told this to the other people that say that it's a dog, it's so low to the ground and it's early 80s suspension, but it's a Lotus frame suspension. And it will stick to the road. It would out corner the Laser, going 20 miles an hour. So, the Laser is a K car, right? It rolls around a turn. So
body roll is a thing.
Yeah.
No, I remember my brother's Chrysler Laser Turbo stick shift, and it had a lot of torque. Now, granted, I'm going back to, I don't know, 1989 or so in my mind, 1990. So maybe for the time, but it would spin the front wheels quite easily.
Yeah, you can spin the wheels, and it buzzes along. When I was for the 80s, it was actually a fast car. It was.
And they're both very similar in kind of style, minus the gull wings. The taillights are similar. It's just it speaks 80s.
Right, definitely. And I think that's the one that you saw online that you replied to. I had them out of my driveway parked side by side, and I took multiple angles, and you can really see the similarities of that 80s style, right? They're very similar.
Absolutely.
Good deal. So as we kind of guide the podcast gently to the off ramp here, on the way out, Curt, I got kind of a question. We'll involve Doug in this. Is how many? So I should mention for the people that can't see the video right now, you're each wearing T-shirts that honor your dream cars that you have right now. You've got DeLorean T-shirts on. How many DeLorean T-shirts, Curt, do you have? And Doug, how many do you have? And I want to decide a winner here if I can. And I will also say, I respect people so much that have the big passion for the brand and they just go all in. You know, Doug's got like a DeLorean hat. I don't know if he's got DeLorean jacket, watch, driving gloves.
Watch, yes. Watch, yes.
Yeah, I just love the devotion to the brand. You guys have passion. So how many shirts, Curt? Let's hear it.
Let's see. I have to add them up, but I bet I have 10.
Really?
Yeah.
He's got me beat. I think
fantastic.
About 4.
How many do you have?
I think about 4.
Okay. Well, hey, Curt, do you want to do a podcast with me and we can just drop Doug? What do you think? Joking. We would never do that. Anyway, Curt, it was a fantastic pleasure to meet you.
Indeed.
As soon as I saw the picture of those two cars together, I said, this is a unique guy with a story to tell. So thank you for taking some time out of your day, bud. We had a blast.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah.
Yeah. Love to have you back.
Yeah. Well, I was just about to say there's a whole lot about Curt that we didn't even get to, but we have to bring this episode to an end. So what do you say, Curt? We'll have you back sometime in the future, buddy.
Sure. No, I'd enjoy it.
Fantastic. So if one of you would sing a Van Halen song while I talk us out, that would be great. And go.
Not going to be me.
Not going to be me either.
You have just heard the high-revving, low-mileage, late-model, heard round-the-world authoritative podcast on automotive nostalgia. He's Doug. Reach him at doug@carslove.com. I am Christian. Reach me at christian@carslove.com. And he's Curt. Super cool guy. Please follow and tell a friend if you like the podcast. It helps us grow and bring more content to you. Try out carslove.com or our link tree at
linktr.ee/carsloved.
Drop the mic. I am sure we'll see you at the next local car show, showroom, race strip, or concourse. We appreciate you listening, and we will see you next time